Hi, welcome back to Takacs McGinnis Elder Law Hour. I'm Barbara McGinnis. As always, we talk about the many issues related to advanced aging, disability, and unexpected illness. In today's episode, we're particularly focusing on aging in place and aging safely at home. How do we use technologies to stay at home longer?
And I'm your co-host, Tim Takacs, and in this segment we're talking about hearing loss, in particular seniors who are living at home or their caregivers and they're trying to communicate. And with us today is Christie Powers from CapTel Captioned Telephone. CapTel Captioned Telephone. Okay, so tell us about the product and how does it help seniors?
Sure. So the product is designed for somebody with hearing loss. So CapTel is a company that provides captioning telephones for people with that hearing loss. So they get a lot of extra and dual supports in those types of phones. They're more amplified. They're 4 times more amplified than a regular phone would be. And so they get the screen, so they're able to read those captions. And that dual support really is a great resource for somebody with hearing loss.
So why is it important for those with hearing loss to have access to this type of technology, this type of phone?
Multiple reasons.
Yeah.
What I have learned is people with hearing loss tend to isolate themselves because once that hearing is going away, they don't talk on the phone anymore. They avoid it because it's too difficult. It's frustrating. It's frustrating for them. It's frustrating for whoever they're speaking with on the phone. Mm-hmm. So they isolate. That brings on all kinds of medical issues. You know, that's where we had a speaker talk about dementia.
Right. So you have depression, you have lack of socialization, you have probably all sorts of cascading events because the person can't hear.
That's exactly right.
And more likely to be, it increases their vulnerability. The more isolated they are, the more likely they are for abuse or neglect.
Absolutely. Yeah. So that's a whole nother issue, is the senior scams that are going on. Mm-hmm. So a lot of times those seniors, and I have a really good example of walking in on that experience going into an install. That happened. And they were on the phone.
So what happened?
They were on the phone with a scammer at the time I walk in the door, and they're not understanding and they're getting taken. And I tap them on the shoulder and say, you need to hang up now and let me help you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that happens every day. So these phones help with that because they can read, mm-hmm. what's coming across that somebody's saying. So they can actually hear, mm-hmm. where they weren't hearing before on a cordless phone or a regular phone. Yeah, it's a huge safety issue these days. Mm-hmm. Yeah, 911. If they have that emergency, they can hear, they can communicate to somebody that they're having an emergency. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's a huge safety factor too.
Right. Or even like the combination of a CapTel phone with the longevity telemedicine or telecare, right?
Absolutely.
Then
absolutely.
So somebody that was hearing impaired and homebound wanting to use that telemedicine, they could actually be able to do so.
That's right. Yeah, mm-hmm. That's why it's so important for us to interconnect with the group that you had here today, mm-hmm. Michelle, that you just had in. We interconnect and we try to provide those supports for people that have the medical issues, the hearing loss issues. It all interconnects. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Okay, so what if I can't see very well?
Those phones are all designed for low vision as a secondary issue. Okay, there are 3 models. There is one specific model that is specifically designed for low vision. Those phones are all with large buttons. They light up. The font, all the lettering will become very large for somebody with low vision. Mm-hmm. So we run across that all the time. Macular degeneration, we can go in and we can program those phones with the background color, the font color, the size, and so forth, and we work with them until we see what's going to work for them.
And obviously this is not just for seniors, this is for anyone that is hearing impaired.
Absolutely.
But tell us about what it costs.
Yeah, it does not cost anything. It's no cost to anybody anywhere in the country that has mild to severe hearing loss. Okay, and you mentioned age. I've installed for a 9-year-old girl who had cochlear implants, mm-hmm. and I've installed for a 106-year-old gentleman. Mm-hmm. So there's a huge range there. And there is no cost because it's an FCC taxed program that we all pay on our phone bill. It's $1 and a few cents a month for all of us. And so we all feed into that program to provide the support for this.
So the idea is as long as we are paying for it, let's take advantage of it.
That's right.
I mean, because we're entitled to it. I think that's what I'm hearing you say. You know, if my mom needs it or I need it.
Right, right.
So how do can I just sign up for it even if I don't need it? How does that work?
No, you cannot.
Okay.
That needs to be signed off on.
I'm disappointed.
I'm sorry about that.
Okay.
No, it needs to be signed off on by a certifier. That can be a general physician, it can be an audiologist, a hearing instrument specialist, veterans. I work with lots of veterans. So we know that the veteran population is about 80% hearing loss.
Right. Because they flew in airplanes or they got
all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Sure, sure. And so service officers can sign off on those. There's about 7 different certifiers. So as long as that form, I have a form, and as it's signed off on, then anybody with that hearing loss that service provider feels could benefit from a phone, they're able to get that phone.
And this is available anywhere in Tennessee?
Anywhere in the country.
Okay.
I'm the marketing rep for Tennessee, but we're all over the country.
Okay.
So, and I provide service all over the country myself.
Wow.
Okay, by getting that
Okay,
form
so
out.
does it, I guess I'm going to assume it works with a regular phone provider,
It
or is it
does.
cell phones, or a combination of that, or?
No, it's landline based.
Okay.
So somebody needs a dial tone, and I've learned to use that verbiage because it can be a magic jack.
Right.
It can be any service
Okay,
provider.
we're going to put your contact information up because you
Okay.
just got a few seconds.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, absolutely.
Okay, so Christie Powers at OELES, so 674-4220.
That's correct.
That's your number.
That is my number.
All right, so thank you, Christie, for being
Thank
here
you.
today. So thanks for tuning in to this edition of Takacs McGinnis Elder Care Law Hour.
You can check our website for additional resources and connections to our vendors today. Thank you.
Life is